Suhu.
Oke, siap ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. We are from Group 4, consisting of Tuhuyono, Twini Julia Pradanaya, Pradayana, and Zahro Salsabila. And we are going to present a topic, psycholinguistic and sociolinguistic. The outlines of our presentation consist of psycholinguistic, consisting of definition, language processing, language acquisition, language disorder, neurolinguistics, and then sociolinguistic, consisting of definition, linguistic varieties, vernacular language, standard language, lingua franca, pidgin, and Creole. And the last is code switching and mixing. Psycholinguistic is derived from the word psycho and linguistic. It means that psychology is scientific study of human mind or behavior, and linguistic is language, scientific study of language. Psycholinguistic is a branch of study which combines the disciplines of psychology and linguistics. It explores the relationship between the human mind and the language. It regards language as a product of human mind, not a product of society. Five major areas of psycholinguistics include language processing, what exactly goes on when we listen, read, and write, and language storage. How is the language stored in our mind? And then language comprehension is how is meaning constructed, and then language brain, where does brain store linguistic and semantic concept. And the last, language acquisition. How do infants come to acquire first language? In language processing, there are several steps. The first one is speech perception, understanding input, followed by lexical access, finding words in the brain, and then synthetic processing, grammar structure building, then pragmatic processing, understanding intent. And the last is language production for speaking and writing. Language acquisition is the natural process through which humans learn their first language. First, innate ability, humans are both call this language and grammar. The second is input and interaction. Children learn language from development. Language grows in predictable stages. First, babbling
Broca's area is involved in speech production and grammatical processing. Wernicke's area supports language comprehension. The angular gyrus plays a role in reading and writing. Broca's area is located in the frontal lobe. Damage to this area can lead to Broca's aphasia, characterized by slow, effortful speech with limited grammatical structure, although comprehension remains relatively intact. And then Wernicke's area is found in the temporal lobe. When damaged, it causes Wernicke's aphasia, where speech is fluent but lacks meaning, and the individual has difficulty understanding spoken language. The last is angular gyrus. The angular gyrus is essential for reading and writing. Damage in this region might result in alexia or difficulty in reading or agraphia, difficulty in writing. Next. How the brain processes language. Language processing involves rapid coordination across brain areas. Sounds are thrown into meaning. Meaning is organized into grammatical structures, and concepts are mapped into words for production. This process occurs almost instantly and unconsistently. Next. And this is an example of article. Next. No, it's okay. Next. All right. While neurolinguistics explore language from cognitive and biological perspective, sociolinguistics shift our focus to the social dimension of language use in real communities. Sociolinguistics studies the relationship between language and society, how language reflects social class, cultural identity, ethnicity, and power relation within communities. Next. Linguistic varieties. In any speech community, multiple language varieties exist due to social, cultural, and geographical factors. These include vernacular language, standard language, lingua franca, pidgins, and Cherols, is serving different functions in communication. Next, it's about vernacular language. Vernacular language refers to everyday or informal speech used within local communities. It strongly expresses cultural identity, solidarity, and group belonging. Next. For example, Javanese used in everyday life by Javanese people, and Cebuano or Filipinos, informal local speech and local Swahili dialect by East Africa and African American vernacular English. And situation where vernacular is used is when family communication at home, traditional market using local speech, cultural events, ritual and storytelling, and informal talk among friends in local communities. Standard language. Standard language is a codified variety used in formal settings such as government, education, and media. It considered the correct or official form due to established rules in grammar, spelling, and vocabulary. Next, the example. The example of standard language is Indonesian standard use in informal letters and broadcasting, American standard English use in academic and business, British English standard use in BBC and government documents, and Mandarin standard use in schools and national media. Situation where when standard language is used are academic writing like papers, thesis, research, report, and then governments or legal document like laws, letters, policies, and business communication like emails, proposals, contracts, and last is national media, news, broadcasts, and official statements. And now it's about lingua franca. A lingua franca is a common language used among speakers of different native language. It breaks communication barriers in trade, education, and mobility. For example, Indonesia and the next, for example, international business using English, different ethnic groups in Indonesia using Bahasa Indonesia, and trade in East Africa using Swahili, aviation communication worldwide using English. And why lingua francas matter is because promote unity and understanding, reduce communication barriers, support economic and educational cooperation, and enable safe global communication. And the next slide will be presented by Miss Twinnie.
Thank you, Ms. Yaro. I will continue the presentation. Pidgin and Creoles. Pidgin, a simplified contact language used when groups do not share a common language. It is developed for basic needs, trade, work, simple communication. Creoles, a fully developed language that evolves when a pidgin becomes the native language of a community. Next slide. Diagram Pidgin and Creole. The first is different language in context. Pidgin forms and widely used in community. Children acquire in natively. Creole and then post-Creole continue. Next slide. Comparison Pidgin and Creole. The figure are speaker. The Pidgin, no native speaker, and the Creole is native speaker. The next feeder is grammar. Pidgin is simple, and Creole is complex. Vocabulary, the Pidgin is limited, and the Creole is expanded. Use, the figure use is Pidgin restricted. Creole is all domain. And the last is feeder stability. The Pidgin is unstable, and the Creole is stable. Example, Pidgin and Creole. In Pidgin, tuk pisin, early stage, Papua New Guinea. Originally a pidgin based on English used for trade and labor communication. Nigerian Pidgin English Nigeria, used in market, streets, and informal communication among people who speak different local language. Chinook jargon, Pacific Northwest, or USA or Canada. A trade pidgin used historically between Native American, European, and settled. Hawaiian Pidgin English, early stage, developed on plantation among immigrant workers with different languages. Creole, took Pidgin Modern Creole, Papua New Guinea. Now a national language with native speakers. Haitian Creole, Haiti. A French-based Creole spoken natively by most Haitians. And then Jamaican Creole, or Patois, Jamaica. An English-based Creole with West African influences. Cape Verdean Creole, Cape Verde, a Portuguese-based Creole spoken across the island. Okay, the next slide is code switching and mixing. Definition: code switching is the practice of alternating between two or more languages, dialects, or language varieties within a single conversation, sentence, or discourse situations. It happens consciously or unconsciously, depending on the context. And then definition, code mixing is the blending of two languages in a single sentence or phrase, often without changing the grammatical system of the base language. It is more about inserting words or phrases from one language into another, rather than switching entire clauses or sentences. Next slide. Types and example of code switching. The A, intersential switching. Switching languages between sentences. The example, I'm going to the store. Nanti aku balik lagi. B, intrasentential switching. Switching languages between the same sentence. The example, saya belum decide mau pergi atau tidak. Decide, insert into Indonesian grammar. And then C, text switching or able mating switching. There are inserting text, phrases, or short expressions from one language into another. The example, it's okay kok. It's okay kok. You know lah, dia itu selalu telat. Kemudian, and then the situational switching. Switching languages because the situation change speaker setting or topic. The example, speaking English with a teacher, friend enters, switching to Indonesian. And then metaphorical switching. There are switching languages to express a change in tone, mood, or meaning. not because the situation changes. Example, using English to sound more formal, prestigious, or humorous. Types and example of code mixing. Types of code mixing in insertion or most common are inserting a word phrase from one language into another. The example, aku lagi meeting sekarang. Meeting inserted into Indonesian. And then alternation. Alternation is switching between languages at larger units such as clauses. Example, saya udah bilang ke kamu, but you never listen. Diagram of code switching and mixing. In bilingual speaker, to Lengua plus B, code switching are switching between languages at sentence or clause level. The example, I'm tired. Aku mau tidur. Next, code mixing. Mixing word from another language inside one sentence. The example is, aku lagi meeting sekarang. And there is an article to relate it to sociolinguistics. And the title is Study on Gender Differences in Language under the Sociolinguistic by Dong Jinyu. Next. And the last is conclusion. Psycholinguistics explain how the mind processes, acquires, stores, and produce language, including how the brain supports this function and how disorder affect communications. Language acquisition is natural, shaped by biological abilities, cognitive growth, and social interaction. Neurolinguistics identifies brain areas responsible for speech, comprehensions, reading, and writing. Sociolinguistics show how language varies based on society, culture, and social structures. Linguistic varieties are vernacular, standard language, lingua franca, pidgins, and creoles highlight diversity and functions of language in different contexts. Pidgin emerged for basic communications. Creole developed when children learn a pidgin as their first language. And then code switching and code mixing occur in bilingual communities as flexible language use strategies shaped by situations, identity, and communication needs. Okay, that's all is our presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms.
You are
Twini, for
welcome
your
to
presentation. Thank you for all for your attention and time, and we hope our explanation has given you a better understanding of psycholinguistic and sociolinguistic. And now we step to question and answer.
answer.
When you have question, please raise your hand and we try to answer the question.
Mr. Tuhu, I would like to ask some questions.
Okay, please go ahead, Mr. Liga.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tuhu. The question is, how do a lingua franca, a pidgin, and a Creole differ, and how does code switching relate to them? Maybe that's it for my question, Mr. Tuhu.
Okay, thank you for your question. And this was the first question. I will try to answer it. The answer is a lingua
Oh, wait.
franca,
Oh, yeah.
one by one, yeah, one question and one answer. A lingua franca is a common language used for communication between speakers of different native languages, such as English internationally. A pidgin is a simplified contact language with limited vocabulary and grammar used for trade or basic interaction. Creole develops when a pidgin becomes a fully developed native language for a community. Code switching occurs when bilingual speakers alternate between language or varieties depending on social context. It can involve lingua francas, pidgin, creoles, or standard versus vernacular varieties. I think that's the answer for your question, Ms. Liga. Hopefully, it can be understood.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tuhu.
Thank you, Mr. Liga. Please lower your hand. And the second question will be from Miss Astri. The question of your, please.
Thank you, Mister. I want to ask you, the first, what are the main stage of language processing when someone produces a spoken sentence?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for
that's
your question.
question.
Maybe
Yeah.
the other partners of mine, please answer the question. It can be Miss Jahro or Miss Twenty, please. Answer the question of Miss Astri.
Okay, I will answer the Miss Astrid question. The question is, what are the main stage of language processing when someone produces a spoken sentence? That's right, Miss Astrid?
Yes, thank you, Miss.
Language production generally involves three stages. There is conceptualization, are generating the idea or message. And then formulation are selecting word or lexical retrieval and constructing grammatical structure. And then the last is articulation. In the articulation, physically producing speech through coordinate movement of speech organs.
That's all, Miss Twenty.
These stages are not necessarily sequential, and there may be some overlap or feedback between them. And however, they provide a general outline of the main processes involved in producing a spoken sentence. That is my answer. Can you get it the answer, Miss Astrid?
Thank you, Miss. Is it clear?
Is this clear? Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next question from Miss Atifatur Rahmania, please.
Okay. I want to know what is the main difference between a vernacular variety and a standard language variety?
Okay, thank you for your question. And your question will be answered by the last partner or the other partner is Miss Jaro, please. Miss Jaro.
All right. Miss Tifatur, so what is the main difference between a vernacular variety? A vernacular is an everyday, informal variety used in daily communication, often without official status. Jadi, kalau vernakular itu bahasa yang biasa kita pakai sehari-hari, seperti kita mengobrol dengan teman atau dengan yang tanpa status, bukan seperti dengan status kolega seperti itu. A standard language, however, is the codified formal variety used in education, government, and formal writing. And standard language are usually taught and regulate, while vernaculars are naturally acquired. Seperti itu, Miss Nia.
Okay, I think our presentation is enough, and thank you once more for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sudah, Bu Putri?
Lagi keluar kayaknya.
Oh iya benar. Pak Tuh, saya izin ke kamar mandi ya Pak Tuh.
Ya udah selesai nih.
Oke,
Yang penting
saya
udah
izin
direkam kan ya.
lift nggak apa-apa ini?